Hi there, welcome to I Alone Fly Tarot. I'm going to do a tarot card reading for Gemini energy, and we're going to read it from a couple different perspectives because people have free will. Some people harness a high vibe Gemini energy, some people harness a more worldly focused Gemini energy, and some people harness a more shadowy Gemini energy. And we all harness Gemini energy. So, regardless of if you're a Gemini sun sign or dealing with a Gemini sun sign, listen to where you are at in the story. Gemini energy is air sign energy of the mind, air sign energy. How do we use our words? How do we use our mind? How do we use our charm and charisma and our intelligence? It's just like people in the world who could be wonderfully successful business people, but they choose to scam people. We either use our traits and characteristics to motivate and inspire ourselves and motivate and inspire others, or we're kind of more selfish and greedy and all about ourselves. So, okay. Interesting. Okay, we start out with the card not showing itself, and it has to do with the Seven of Wands. Some people are defensive because they're hiding that they reject love. They don't want to move forward in love. They'd rather move forward in their emotionally defensive, prideful, egotistical nature, which is, I could get hurt doing love, but I want to maybe be in a relationship. The Leo energy of the Seven of Wands is fiery energy, and Gemini energy is about love. But just, do I want the things that I want, but I don't want to do love? I don't want to be just and fair. I don't want to put in the work it takes to get out of my ego and my defensive nature or my self-centered nature. Some people are standing up for themselves because they've gotten out of their ego. They've been in relationships with people who didn't have their best interests at heart, when they didn't have their own best interests at heart, because they hadn't learned to stand up for themselves. And those people are taking action in the world, but there might not be anybody in their life right now that they want to offer a cup of love to, but they haven't given up on their dreams. And that can be the difference when other people approach you, and, the underlying reason for the reading is the moon and the Knight of Pentacles, and kind of hiding beneath that is the Three of Swords. There could be people who'd like to make you an offer. There could be people that, as you're moving forward in your life, that you would like to make an offer to. But some people are hiding that they're operating from heartbreak, and some people are listening to their heart and intuition to guide them, the truth. And the moon talks about, I am going to use my intuition about who I invest in, because I don't want to invest in people again who in their Libra energy think it's just and fair to operate from their pride or their ego or their fear or their insecurity or their defensiveness. I want to work together with people listening to the truth, my intuition to guide me about the truth of who people are. And if they seem to be people who've done the work, high vibe Virgo energy, I've done the work, I've gone within, I've gained insight and wisdom about my past pain and heartbreak and my self-limiting beliefs, that now I'm ready to take action and listen to my intuition to guide me about the next people I invest in a relationship with. People have either done the work within themselves to heal from past pain and heartbreak, that is no longer guiding their actions in life. High vibe Virgo, I've learned lessons in life. I have gained insight and wisdom from the relationships and my past life experience. I'm no longer as naive and gullible as I was before. I've seen the truth. Virgo goes within to see the truth, to see through the emotional confusion and the illusion. And we all have a lot of life lessons to learn. And it's to realize that not everybody out there is who they present themselves to be. Not everyone has dealt with their past pain and heartbreak and their issues that make them defensive. Some people just create an illusion. Don't you view me as a stable, grounded person? Aren't you heartbroken? Can't I get in a relationship with you and you'll stand up and defend me, even though I'm not really operating from a foundation of love? Aren't you afraid that things won't work out for you? Aren't you willing to settle for the illusion? I'll get in a relationship with you. I have a lot of fears and insecurities. It'd be good for my ego and my image and my status. I'm trying to create an illusion about who I am. I don't want to do love, though, but I want to make it look like I have a victory worth defending. Do you want to be part of my illusion? And some of you have already been in relationships with people who are like that. They operate more from their ego. They've given up on their dreams, don't really want to do love. They get hurt doing that. So it's more to just create this illusion in the world. Look how in my more shadowy Virgo energy, and the people I'm referring to, they don't have to be any of these zodiac signs, sun signs. It's how they harness this energy. Have people gone within, or is their long-term goal in their Virgo energy, I want to look like the King of Pentacles. I want to look like I got it all. Some of them, it's just, I want to get in a relationship to create this illusion, or a marriage, because the King and Queen, the Knight of Pentacles wants to become the King of Pentacles, which can be, I just want to look like I'm king of the world. I got it all. Others, the King and Queen of Pentacles is the married suit of the deck. I want to get in a relationship, to get in a marriage, to create this illusion that I've moved on from the past. But maybe some of those people are moving forward in the world, trying to get in a new relationship because the people in their past stood up for themselves and said, I'm not going to keep offering love to you because you just create an illusion. You don't really operate from a foundation of love. You never go within to gain insight and wisdom about why you're defensive. Or shadowy Leo, why you're manipulative, why you're prideful and egotistical. Some of those people just got caught up in the world and living life from a more worldly focus. Isn't life about getting in a relationship and looking like you have it all? It's like, well, it is if you think it is. Or it's supposed to be about love. Some people, Gemini is represented by the Lover's card and the Magician card, which the Magician card is Gemini and Virgo together. Well, Gemini is a dualistic sign. We all harness Gemini energy, but it's a dualistic sign about what am I going to work with. I have this dualistic nature within me. I have my more intuitive, loving, hopeful, believing nature, and I have my more worldly nature, which our worldly nature can be our more immature, prideful, egotistical, selfish, greedy, self-centered, don't want to put in work and effort to gain insight and understanding, because the truth is what sets us free, that elevates us from our more immature worldly nature to live life from a higher perspective. But it takes work. And some people think, oh, because I have money or status or image, or I'm attractive, or I think I'm attractive, or I have social clout, or I'm just caught up in the illusion of the world. I think there's other people who are caught up in the illusion of the world. Don't you want to get in a relationship because you're heartbroken? Me too. Is that a reason to get in a relationship? Because I'm heartbroken? Do I have hope and faith and belief and love? Or because I'm heartbroken, and other people wanted me to grow up and mature myself and offer love, and I kind of like to just get in a relationship and create an illusion. It makes me feel better. It makes me maybe feel more stable and grounded. If I get in a relationship, it makes me look like I've moved on from the past, like I've dealt with it, but I haven't. It makes me look like I'm moving forward, like I've moved on. But if people really haven't done the work, they're dragging all that shit with them. And that shit they drag with them, that they're unwilling to deal with, it's like they're hiding their past pain and heartbreak, or that they think it's just and fair to live more from their mind and their heart. And they're just looking for someone else who buys in to the same illusion, who doesn't deal with their shit, and let's get in a relationship and it'll look like we've moved on, that we're happy. But their issues are going to affect the next relationship because they haven't dealt with it. We've either gone within to look at the things of our past that emotionally confused us, The Pisces moon can talk about our own fears, our own insecurities, the things that we might like to keep buried beneath the surface. And we went and looked at those things that we'd prefer not to look at. Am I prideful? Am I egotistical? Am I defensive to love? Am I willing to stand up for myself? Or am I not? To be free, high vibe energy is about being free. Free to live your authentic life. I have gone within. I have dealt with my past pain and heartbreak and the things of my past that confused me. I accept that everybody's a fallible human being who had lessons learned. I was a fallible human being. I'm still a fallible human being who has lessons learned. And I realized that some of the people in my past were defensive to offering, being more hopeful and believing in love. I could have loved them. They could have loved me. We could have been in a family together. But they were kind of defensive to love. And that can be confusing, when we grow up with people and get in relationships with people who kind of hide that they're kind of defensive to love. And could have thought, well, if I offer you these things of the world, isn't that's how I show my love? Well, when we really wanted a loving, just and fair and balanced, like equal give and take relationship, and it didn't seem like that's what we got, it can cause us heartbreak. And if we go within to deal with that I accept that they were at where they were at. I'm not going to let the past keep affecting my future. And high vibe Leo energy of the Seven of Wands is that I've learned to be in life-giving energy of my own. I've learned that, I'm dealing with other fallible human beings in the world who can be defensive to love. I accept that. I see the truth that some people, because of their own past pain and heartbreak, because of their own self-learning beliefs, because of their own defensiveness or self-centeredness, whatever the case could be, they weren't open to doing a just and fair and loving relationship. And when I am willing to see the truth of it, I can offer love and compassion to it, because love is what helps us grow and mature ourselves to become free. And I accept that there was some people in my life who had their own fears and insecurities of being more vulnerable and authentic in the world. And I wish them peace. I'm moving on. So now that I've seen the truth, I can let that go. But I take the knowledge that I learned from that life experience to not go get in relationships with people who are like that. If I meet other people who seem to be defensive and like to keep their emotions buried beneath the surface, don't really want to do love, might like to offer me things of the world or illusion or play on my fear or my insecurity or my codependency, I'm going to wish them peace, but I'm going to keep moving on. Because I've already been in relationships with people who are like that. And I learned the lesson that isn't the type of people I want to be in a relationship with. I think we get in all these different relationships with people and come across all these different people in the world to get clear about what their truth is versus what our truth is. And it can be confusing because of other people in our life that we grew up with, that we loved, and we're kind of used to dealing with people that have unique traits and characteristics to them. And it's like, well, I love them. Can't I love this person? It's like, well, you can love them, but to be in a romantic relationship with them when they show you that they have some of those same traits and characteristics that kind of caused you emotional confusion and heartbreak before. But sometimes in our ego, we're like, oh no, I'm going to make them love me. I'm going to win this time. I'm going to make them pick truth and love and justice and fairness. I'm going to make it the way I wanted it to be. Maybe not with that person, but with someone else who has the same traits and characteristics. That can be our savior God complex. I'm going to make them love me. I'm going to make them choose love this time. I'm going to get them out of their ego. I'm going to get them out of their fear and their insecurity. We're not God. God will keep working with them and trying to guide them. The moon card talks about people not seeing things clearly. God knows that some people are defensive to love. And God will try to guide them, and they're going to probably be drawn and attracted, if they don't want to do the work to see the truth, to set themselves free. They're either caught up in the illusion or the fear, or they think they can keep moving forward the way they are moving forward and think it'll all work out fine, but it'll probably end up in heartbreak because they haven't seen through the illusion of the world. I think this world is set up for us to learn lessons, to grow and mature ourselves, just like we had to do when we were younger. Age 15 to 18 to 21 to 25. We had to let go of some of our more immature, childish ways of being, to face our fears, to go to the next level, to feel proud of ourselves, to keep growing, to grow to our full potential. And some people think, I've gotten to a certain stage in life, I don't have to do that anymore. Or I think I can just do it the way I want to do it. I know. I have an idea. I'm not going to face my fear and insecurity. I'm not going to do love. I'm not going to be just and fair in a relationship. I have my own illusions of what it means to be in a relationship. I think I can keep moving forward that way. And they're not seeing things clearly. And if they had people in their life who are loving and encouraging and supportive, and they still were defensive to those people, they're going to go through some light. The high vibe people eventually are going to move on. I don't deserve to be in a relationship with someone who's defensive to my offers of love, and who's defensive to offering and investing in the dream of love. And eventually my intuition is going to tell me to move on. This is heartbreaking. I accept that everybody has free will, and people can choose not to do that. I don't have to do love. I don't have to be just and fair. I don't have to put in the work and effort to deal with my past pain and heartbreak. But it's going to affect every decision I make in my life moving forward, because I keep not being willing to look at the things I keep buried beneath the surface. And eventually high vibe people move on. It's like, I can't keep living with someone and being in a relationship with someone who doesn't want to see the truth. Or if you're caught up in the illusion of the world and you prefer to live more from your mind than your heart, and in your Gemini energy, when you made the decision of what am I going to align with within myself and put in work and effort into that I think can bring my dreams into reality, you didn't pick love. And having faith and belief in love and listening to your intuition, you decided to work with the world. And we have to accept that God gave everybody free will. And let them go live their life that way. That's maybe what they're driven and motivated and inspired by. So when we see the truth, we can move on. I'm no longer emotionally confused. Oh, are some people motivated and inspired by different things instead of love? And being more balanced within themselves, and, being more just and fair? Do some people like to kind of wear their false mask and, live this life of illusion and never deal with their issues, and they carry around that baggage all their life? Yeah, there's some people who aren't motivated and inspired, because for some, it would require them to stand up for themselves. High vibe Leo energy is being authentically yourself in the world. I'm no longer hiding behind an illusion. Some people have already created an illusion about who they are in the world. Some of those people don't want to speak the truth that they did create an illusion. And now they've seen the truth. And it caused maybe a lot of pain and heartbreak because of some things that they weren't willing to deal with. But some of those people aren't willing to stand up for themselves. Some people were defensive of moving forward with some people because those people are authentic. They are authentically themselves in a relationship. They aren't hiding behind a false mask. They're authentically being loving and nurturing and supportive and encouraging. And they have gone within to gain insight and wisdom. And the other people are like, oh shit, you're no longer caught up in the illusion. You're not going to stay in the relationship with me because you're heartbroken anymore. You're not going to keep moving forward with me in this job or this relationship because of the status and the image and the money. You're no longer in the illusion. You've seen the truth. Oh, shit. I need to let you go. Because I need to go find someone else who's caught up in the illusion. Because I don't want to deal with people who see the truth. You know, there's some people, we have to admit, that are emotionally manipulative. Gemini, air sign energy of the mind. Some people, you know, it's kind of like a con artist who's figured out the world in a way. I bet there's other people who have a lot of fear and insecurity of loving and believing in themselves. I'm going to use that to my advantage. I'm going to go make an offer to the people who are heartbroken in the world. And I'm going to create this illusion that I'm more stable and grounded and mature and insightful than I am, because I really am operating more from my ego and my emotionally defensive nature. And I might be full of myself. And I might like to get in a relationship where it's all about me. But I think if I go get in a relationship, if I seem like I'm victorious and like I have these things of the world, oh, are you heartbroken? Let's get in a relationship. I'm going to hide the fact that my long-term goal is more about money and materialism and status and image. And it's kind of like I'm just going to indulge in a relationship with you, like sexually, until you see the truth and see through the illusion of who I am. That I'm really not going to do truth and justice and fairness and love. But as long as you don't see through the illusion of who I am, then we'll keep moving forward with this illusion. And when you want me to deal with some of my issues that are starting to show themselves in the relationship that you find emotionally confusing, because I don't really seem to authentically, believe in love, and you start to want me to do some work on my issues, that's when I'm going to become defensive to you, because you're more independent. The 9 of Pentacles is also Virgo energy. You seem to be more independent. You seem to be inspired to get out of your inner conflict, and you're more emotionally defensive, codependent, immature, indulgent, materialistic, or whatever nature. You seem to have become more independent of me. Sometimes people, you're either both independent, you're both inspired to be free and respect that each other has their own things that they're inspired by and motivated by in the world, and you love and respect each other, that I accept that you are different than me and you have your own things and your own dreams and ambitions that you want to pursue in life, and we'll work cooperatively together because we're both inspired by love and, love and respect each other. And some people don't like that because they're more wanting to they're maybe more codependent, not willing to stand up for themselves in the world and people in their life to be more independent, not willing to become independent of their emotionally defensive nature or their more self-centered nature. When we're in our ego, there's things that are manipulating us. Our fear, our insecurity, our pride, our ego, our self-limiting beliefs. And odds are, then we're hanging out with some people who are happy we live our life like that, because then we're hanging out with them and indulging them in a relationship. And some of those people could just be friends and family who are like, well, I'm glad you don't love and believe in yourself, because I don't really either, and I'm not planning to live my life any differently. I'm kind of caught up in my ego and the illusion of the world, or just never keep dealing with my stuff either. So I'm glad you're like that. And then we can get in relationships with people who live their life like that, and they have people in their life who live their life like that, and none of them like when someone comes in who does the work to not be manipulated by the same things they're manipulated by. And sometimes it's just the world. Well, you got to do this and you got to do that. And it's all this, our life is just based on, in our own head, all these unwritten rules and regulations we think we need to conform to, where other people might just be living their own damn life, being free. But some people are like, oh, no, We have all these unwritten rules in our head that we have to live our life according to. And only if other people do those things can we do those things. And if they don't do those things and we can't do those things, people might judge us. We can't live our authentic life. We can't go do the things that we're really motivated and inspired by. What would people say? How about you live your life? How about you treat people with love and respect and love and encouragement? And if other people don't seem to like that, then maybe they're not the type of people you should hang around. But when people do make their life more about ego and image, it can all be about, oh, well, oh my gosh, look what they're doing. Oh my gosh, look what they're wearing. Oh my gosh, they're not doing the things that we're doing. It becomes a very judgmental thing. And our shadow nature is represented by the devil. So it's all the things that can limit us and oppress us and confine us and restrict us and enslave and imprison us. Just like addictions can enslave and imprison us, so can people's ego. They're not free to go live their life. What would people say? Oh my gosh. Part of that could be their fear and insecurity. Some of it's like, I need to fit in with this certain group that I think, in a worldly egoic way, like these are the people that I need to have validate my worth and value. What if they didn't validate my worth and value? What if they don't approve of how I'm living my life? It's like, how about you become independent of those people and say, you go enjoy your life and I'll go enjoy my life. Well, some people aren't willing to be more independent in the world because they are kind of codependent. And there's a lot of people who don't like people who are independent. Why aren't you enslaved and imprisoned to the same things I'm enslaved and imprisoned by? How come you know your worth and value? How come you're kind of bold and brave and confident to go look at life as an adventure to be lived, and I'm kind of defensive to that? I don't like you. Sometimes people don't like people who are more independent, and what's that Bible verse? Don't be conformed to the world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Life is it's like all these unspoken things in our own head that kind of imprison us. Some people who think, oh my gosh, I can possibly, be independent of my worldly egoic view of life. Well, a lot of the people they're trying to conform to, those people could be independent and living their own authentic life. And they don't realize it. It's like, oh my gosh, but I thought I had to do this and I had to do that. It's like, and the other people are like, well, you can if you want, but we're just living our life. We're letting love and intuition, again, it's not taking action out of selfishness and greed and self-centeredness. It's like, I try to live my life authentically. I offer love and encouragement to the people in my life, respecting that other people have their own dreams and ambitions in the world. I let them have their own dreams and ambitions in the world because, of course, I don't have any control over them anyway. And that's another thing of people sometimes who are in shadowy energy, because they have fear of being more authentically themselves in the world. When they get in relationships, it can be about controlling the person they're in a relationship with, because they have this fear. Either you feel you need to control people, or you feel like I can work together with people and I don't have to try to control them. I'm going to offer love and encouragement to them. And if they're defensive and they don't seem to want to work cooperatively with me that way, well, then I guess we're on different pages, and I'm going to go let them live life the way they want to live it. And I'm going to go find the people who are more independent in the world, who are more inspired by hope and faith and love and treating other people the way they like to be treated, and distance myself maybe from the people who are trying to control me, not offering me love. And for some people, you realize that the people that you could have been in a relationship with harness these energies in a shadowy way. High vibe people are harnessing high vibe Virgo, high vibe Leo, high vibe Sagittarius. And the other people are like harnessing more worldly focus Virgo, Leo, and Knight of Wands. Again, oh, you're single. You seem to be attractive or be stable, be grounded, be nurturing, might have money. I'm going to come get in a relationship with you and indulge in a relationship with you because with the Knight of Wands sideways and the Three of Wands sideways, I'm not ready to have good boundaries within myself and believe in myself and maybe believe in my dreams. So I'll come kind of indulge in a relationship with you. And maybe that will make it look like, because I would look at the cards as turning upwards, maybe that'll make it look like my dreams have come into reality. And if you're willing to work together with me, then it would look like my dreams have come into reality. But it's just that some of those people are hiding the fact that their drive and motivation for being in the relationship is more about, it's good for my ego, it's good for my image, it's good for my own sense of stability. I have past pain and heartbreak that I don't deal with, and the people I thought my dreams were going to come into reality with could have become more independent and wanted me to really move forward, to really bring a dream into reality. But I haven't learned to have good boundaries within myself against my own shadowy nature, which can make me manipulative or prideful or bossy or controlling, or I'm still immature and I have a lot of growing up to do, or I have past pain and heartbreak that I haven't dealt with. And so those people could have moved on, and now I'm confused. And instead of doing the work within myself to work through it and see the truth, what was the truth of me in that past relationship? What was the truth of the people I was dealing with? Am I kind of immature? Am I defensive? Do I just want to be a player in a relationship and stay single and not get in relationships with people and create the illusion I'm willing to move forward to make it a more committed, emotionally mature relationship? Or was that just an illusion I created and really I just want to indulge? For some of you, you could have been in a relationship. It seemed like your dreams were going to come into reality. You were moving forward with people. And then when those people realized, oh my gosh, this is like the real deal. This isn't just the illusion. This person has done the work. They're healed. They want a more just and fair relationship. For some of them, you could have been married to them. And that's when the person was like, oh shit, I thought we were just going to keep moving forward in this relationship the way it was. I didn't know this person was going to heal from their past pain and heartbreak. I thought they'd keep staying in the relationship with me because of the image and the status, but they really want their divine inheritance. The Three of Swords is Libra energy, represented by the scales of justice. Some of you could have been moving forward with a Libra, or you could have been in a relationship with who you just thought would be just and fair and more balanced, because they could have presented themselves as being someone who harnessed high vibe Virgo energy, that they were the stable, grounded, more emotionally mature person. And for a long time, you could have been in a relationship or a workplace with people or friends with people like that. But when it really got to be where you were someone who started to free yourself from some of your own fears, insecurities, and self-limiting beliefs, and we're standing up more for yourself in that workplace, friendship, or romantic relationship, and you were doing this work within yourself to, really appreciate kind of what you bring to the table and knowing your own worth and value in a sense, and more inspired to step out of your comfort zone, because the moon talks about, I'm ready to also, in the Knight of Wands, I'm ready to move forward into unknown territory. If you looked at it when you were like age 15 and 18, like you were the first one, it'd be equivalent to you having been the first one at that time period saying, I'm going to go get a job. And the other people are like, oh shit, I'm scared about going and getting a job, and you're willing to put yourself out there to face your fears. Like, I know this is scary. I know this is, I got to maintain balance, not get caught up in my mind, not get caught up in my feelings. I need to maintain balance within myself if I want to grow up to be someone I'm proud of, that I grew to my full potential, and the emperor, that I've mastered some of my fears and insecurities by dealing with my fears and insecurities to move forward, even though I have fears and insecurities, to make decisions in my life and not letting my fears and insecurities hold me back. And again, in my Virgo energy, I'm willing to put in the work and effort to deal with what it is in my past emotionally that could possibly stop me from being a student of life, of being willing to put myself out there, to start fresh, to start new. And just like that can happen when we're kids and everybody else is like, oh shit, they're going and getting a job. And the other people are like, oh, nope, I'm going to go back and live life the way I've been living it. Because, they're not maybe ready to have some good boundaries within themselves. The Knight of Wands and the Nine of Wands is Sagittarius energy. The Three of Wands is Aries energy. We all become ready at different times to stand up for ourselves. Like, I believe to have my dreams come into reality, I'm going to stand up to my fears and my insecurities that are stopping me from having my dreams come into reality. I'm going to go apply for that first job in my life. It's kind of like, the same thing I kind of equate it to. Just like we had to face our fears and insecurities then about getting our first job, then we had to face our fears and insecurities about leaving that job to go get a different job. And that was scary because we'd never had a different job before. And what if those people think we're supposed to know more than we know and we don't? It's like, they'll train you. It will work out. Not everybody knows that not everybody knows everything when they come to a new job, especially when they're young. And even if you haven't been in the workforce that much, and you're going back out there, it can be scary. And some people that you could have worked with or been in friendships or relationships with, some of those people aren't willing. Sagittarius energy is in high vibe. It's about higher education, kind of wrapping your brain around this game of life, that if I don't deal with my fears and insecurities that make me defensive, to being more independent in the world, where I can take action on the things in my life that would be me moving forward in a way from some of my old ways of being, that I would feel proud of myself, that I overcame some fears and insecurities to stand up for myself and what I believe in. And from the 9 down to the 3, it's letting go of the 6 of Wands, of shadowy Leo energy, of repeating an old pattern of the past. Shadowy Virgo can be, I don't believe I can work cooperatively with people in a relationship, to bring a dream into reality. I'm just going to stay single. I'm not going to go for that dream. I'm going to stay single from that dream because I don't believe it'll work out. And it's basically letting your shadowy, egoic nature, and maybe thinking, I'll just go indulge in the world and the things of the world to feel better. I'll keep kind of harnessing shadowy Sagittarius, which is kind of indulging in my more immature worldly nature. For some people, instead of growing and maturing myself and believing in my dreams, I'll just go find someone who's single, who has money, and or attractive or whatever, and it'll make it look like I'm accomplishing all these things in my life, but that would be more codependent energy. I'm kind of relying on someone else to maybe make it look like I'm moving forward instead of me really moving forward within myself and standing up for myself. Because that's kind of what being free is about. I am independent and free to able to work together with others cooperatively, but not looking to them to make me look like I'm moving forward. And that's what's the difference between some people. Some people aren't willing to deal with their own fears and insecurities where they could really have their dream come into reality with people who are also on that same page. And it could be they just don't believe in themselves. They'd have to deal with their fears and insecurities, and they don't want to deal with them. They'd have to stand up for themselves, maybe to their own fearful, defensive nature, and they haven't won the battle within themselves yet. And their emotionally defensive, more immature, fearful, insecure nature is winning the battle in their life, and they're going to keep moving forward that way. And otherwise, shadowy energy is about being codependent on other people, and it is about trying to create this illusion. I don't want to do the work within myself to deal with my past pain and heartbreak, but I want to look like I'm moving forward just like everyone else, like I'm the boss. Like I want to look like I'm doing these same things. But in my shadowy Aries energy, I'm not putting in the work and effort about the relationships of the past that didn't work out, to quit being defensive about it and being willing to start fresh and new. I just don't want to deal with it. I'm sure it'll go away. I'll go get in a relationship with someone else who's heartbroken, who wants to be in a relationship with me. I don't have to deal with this shit. But then the pattern repeats itself. They get in a relationship. The other people really want the dream to come into reality. And it would require them to quit operating out of their ego. You can't, if you're going to be in a relationship and it's based on justice and fairness and truth and love, you can't keep being emotionally defensive to be vulnerable and authentic in a relationship. And eventually the people see, wait a minute, so you haven't become independent. There's still some issues from your past, basically, that you refuse to deal with. You presented yourself as being single and ready to move forward to bring a dream into reality, but really you're not independent of the past, of your fears, of your insecurities, or whatever. It could be that some people realize that, again, that some people, the idea that they had was, can't we keep moving forward not dealing with what's hidden beneath the surface, or what I like to keep hidden beneath the surface? Can't we just stay moving forward in the relationship, but it's really more about me? A person doesn't have to be an Aries sun sign, but we're either about ourselves. I've got to protect myself at all costs. I get hurt. I don't want to do love. I don't want to be just and fair. I might be kind of bossy and controlling, or I have this illusion about what it means to be in a relationship, and I kind of think it should be more about me. My wants, my needs, my lusts, my greed, my pride, my ego. And you're someone who, for some reason, is just supposed to defend being in a relationship with me. You kind of move forward with me, living more from your mind than your heart, and not seeing the truth that maybe the relationship's really more all about them. And they want to move forward, putting in work and effort, kind of ignoring love and making it more about a worldly relationship. Let's keep moving forward in it because it's good for our image and our ego and our status and our reputation, provides us stability and security. I'm just not willing to be authentically warm and loving and nurturing and supportive. Basically not willing to be an authentic person in this relationship. My false persona, my emotionally defensive, egoic nature runs my life. And if you keep working with me, you're going to feel like you're missing an emotional opportunity in love. And as long as you're not willing to quit defending me, because from the 8 to the 1 is the 7 of Pentacles, which kind of looks like this. Well, no, the 7 of Pentacles doesn't look like that, but it's like, so long as you're willing to make your life more about being in the relationship because of the status and the image, everything will be fine. If you're willing to let go of investing in a relationship with someone who that's more why they're in the relationship, and you decide to invest in your own philosophy of life, which is love, and invest in seeing the truth and healing and facing your own fears and insecurities to give birth to something new, then I guess you're going to stay in a relationship with me. And there's some people that are doing that right now in a relationship. And some people are in a relationship. Some people are going to stay in a relationship. Some people are going to get in a relationship like that. Are we willing to give up our dreams to be in a relationship with someone who harnesses kind of opposing, because, you know, it's kind of like light and dark, truth or illusion? Are we willing to give up our dreams for the things of the world? Some people are counting on it. Some people are hoping you'll be confused about believing in yourself and dealing with your past pain and heartbreak to make good decisions in your life and to put in work and effort to take that cup of love to start fresh and new. Some people who are kind of shadowy could even be in a new, indulging in a different relationship with someone else, just creating an illusion, trying to manipulate some other people in their life who stood up to them. And they're in the new relationship looking back at the person in the past who stood up for themselves. And they're waiting for that person to give up on their dreams and want to come back and get in a relationship with them. Willing to do it their way. And some of the people that stood up for them in the past know their worth and value. And because even though a part of them in their fiery nature might be tempted to want to go back to be in a relationship with those people, because we all, you know, if the person we had been in a relationship with does seem very successful or stable in the world, you know, we're all tempted by our worldly nature. Are we going to have the stability and security we want in our life moving forward? We also could be attracted to those people, and, you know, we wish that dream would have worked out. But your own Virgo nature, just like within you and with some other people in the world right now, they're standing up for themselves and they're not indulging their more fiery nature that could be tempted to indulge some people who were defensive to moving forward with them at one time. And because they know their worth and value, they're listening to their intuition and they're moving forward in life, trying to make really good decisions in their life. Now, there could be some people, you know, we kind of got to check ourselves, because we can have the best of intentions, right? We could have gotten out of one relationship. Some people are in a new relationship and they're listening to their intuition, like we have to do with any relationship, new relationship, or like a workplace. Is this aligned with my truth and my dreams, you know? It can take time to get to know people, from the 6 of Wands to the 9 of Wands. Well, I guess that one is the 3 of Wands. From the 1 to the 9 is the 8. The 8 of Wands about, am I going to move forward with these people? Do I think that these are the people I can move forward with? Are these the people that I think my dreams can come into reality with? Are these people that I am willing to stand up and defend? Do I think these people are people who are willing to stand up and defend me? And do we both have good boundaries within ourselves and the person I'm in a relationship with? Do they have good boundaries within themselves? Or are they more about themselves? And are these people creating an illusion? Do they deal with their emotions? Do they put in work and effort to deal with their past pain and heartbreak so they do make good decisions in this relationship moving forward? And there could be some people right now that aren't sure if the person they're in a relationship with is the person they should be moving forward with for some of them. Some people right now might think maybe I shouldn't move forward with the relationship I'm in. Some of them for shadowy reasons, and they're going to be more about, I don't want to deal with it. I'm going to be immature and indulgent. Other people are more mature and they want to make a good decision, and they're just not sure if the people they're in a relationship with are the people they should keep moving forward with. And they could right now, if that person they're in a relationship with is trying to get them to move forward, maybe more committed, make a commitment. Maybe we could look at the Knight of Pentacles as like an engagement to become a married couple. Some people right now are taking a moment to really think about, why am I in this relationship? Why are they in this relationship? What is my intuition telling me? Is this person more about ego? Looking like a boss in the world? Is that why they want to work with me? Am I a loving, nurturing person? And they kind of create an illusion about how they feel about me because, wanting to be in the relationship maybe more for the stability or the status or the image. And I think there's some people right now that are really thinking about what their truth is. And I think the people who realize that if they keep moving forward in the relationship they're in, they're going to sabotage kind of them even growing to their full potential. Some people could know that some people are in a relationship kind of indulging them for their own reasons, and other people have kind of been enjoying themselves in it. Oh, are you kind of fearful? Oh, are you kind of codependent? Oh, is it good for the ego and the image? And then they could stay in it. Maybe both people were thinking, neither one of us aren't sure if we want, maybe we'd rather just be single and stay in a relationship. But the thing is, if they're both people that have some issues where they never, it's kind of like maybe feeling like you never grow to your full potential, I was never someone who was willing to take on the responsibility to be responsible for other people and really have to take them into account in my life. And I might have someone in my life right now who's kind of willing to indulge me. And some people could feel like, I don't know if I want to keep staying in a relationship with someone who kind of indulges me for their own purposes. And it might work for me for my own purposes. But I'd feel like I never kind of grew up to my full potential. And that there's maybe some people that I could work with who are people who are more independent, who are more bold and brave and confident than me and the people I've been in relationship with. And if I were to go work with those people, it really would be kind of like a more mature relationship, but it would require, that a person act in Libra energy again from truth and love, and they'd have to heal from that past pain and heartbreak that ever made them settle for living their life this way. And they'd have to deal with their own fears and insecurities about giving birth emotionally to change and quit operating more from pride or ego and defensiveness and make their life more about being emotionally independent of their egoic nature, where they're free to love and where they really work together with other people who operate from a foundation of love, not because let's work together because we're both fearful and insecure of going out there in the world. Let's both stay together in a relationship. Let's neither one of us get in a relationship or a commitment because, I don't know. It's just, are you willing to face your fears or not? Let's go ask and just jump to the next phase. What's coming up for the people who harness high vibe Gemini energy? They're bright, they're smart, they're intelligent, they're maybe charming or charismatic, and you know, I can make my life about indulgence, or I can face my fears to become all that I can be. What's coming up for some of those people that they don't see coming? Some of you people could have become single from one relationship. You could have maybe, not really sure if it was part of your own fear of moving forward, or if part of your intuition told you there might be someone that you know in your life from your past that maybe is on the same page as you, and the wands can talk about communication, and you've kind of been listening to your intuition to see if those people are going to take action and communicate with you that yes, you are on the same page as them, or if they're not, and you then need to, and they could be in a perfectly wonderful relationship with someone else for all you know. You can meet people and not know what the situation is with people. And I think you're listening to your intuition about, even within yourself, is part of the fact that I even made that offer maybe to someone, because I'd have to face my own fears and, kind of rather deal with the people that we already know. It's kind of like loving the devil you know than facing the devil you don't know. And, you don't really know. And I think you're just listening to your intuition about when will I know that it's time for me to move forward. And the whole thing is we can't stay in limbo forever. And if there's people, I guess, maybe being in denial that if people were motivated and inspired, sorry, this is going to hurt. If people were motivated and inspired to be in relationship with us, they would make us an offer. And if people are defensive to that, it can run the gamut of why, they could be in shadowy energy. They could be in loving energy. They could be in immature, indulgent energy. But the whole thing is, we only have a finite amount of time in living our life, and we can't stay in stuck energy, and we can't live in denial and illusion. And maybe again, some people are we have to realize that some people could be trying to emotionally manipulate us, so that trying to find out, are you going to make a second offer? Are you going to keep making offers? Because if you do, then I might know that you have fear and insecurity of moving on your own. Perfect. You are my kind of person. I am willing to get in a relationship with you, because I see that you're afraid of kind of putting yourself out there, and you're willing to make an offer to me, and it'll be more about me. Perfect. And we have to take that into account. If we made an offer to someone that we were open to working together with them to see about moving forward in a relationship, and they were defensive to it, we have to see the truth that either they're in something already that they want to stay within, or they might be trying to see if they can manipulate you by not being defensive to you. And it's like, hey, I'm not playing games. If I've made my offer and you keep not responding in kind, then I'm going to move on. The Six of Cups, the Five of Wands, the Five of Pentacles, the Death card, the Queen of Wands, the Five of Pentacles, because of the World. Well, it's kind of the confusion. Which way is it? The Six of Cups can mean someone from your past has inner conflict about detaching from what they have been investing in or way of living life, to put an end to maybe being in their ego or aligning with their more emotionally defensive nature, to come and move towards you and close out a cycle and work together with you to have a new beginning, to move forward with you, detaching from the old ways of being and in the energy of high vibe Leo energy, moving forward in the energy of love. But I would say with the World card that, if there's people in our life that we would like to have work together with us, but they seem to have inner conflict about detaching from whatever they're aligned with within themselves, and therefore the people in their life that they're aligned with, and they're unwilling to detach from that, we need to be illuminated to the truth and get out of our ego about it and take the lesson we've learned to be willing to move forward and let that go, because the World card talks about closing out an old cycle. So there might, the Six of Cups and the Death card are Scorpio energy, which is water sign energy, and having these emotional connections with people. We could want to work together with people, but if it's starting to cause us more inner conflict and making us feel more left out in the cold, that certainly, or they're doing that, that isn't what it's supposed to be about, right? People who love you and want to work together with you would come towards you and work together with you. And if they're not, kind of the Leo energy, which is also represented by the sun, we need to get out of our ego and be illuminated to the truth that maybe that cycle is over. They could have things that they would have to detach from, or ways of being or thinking, deal with some of their own issues that maybe they don't want to deal with, and maybe see the truth that if they were meant to be in our life right now, they would be free to be in our life right now. And the divine knows the hearts of people and who we kind of should be in a relationship with and who we shouldn't be. And there's maybe a reason why some other people might be tied up in what they're tied up in, because the divine wants us to get our divine inheritance. And we need to keep willing to move forward, to take the lessons that we've learned, to detach from clinging to that old foundation and let it go and go out there in the world. Again, taking the lessons we've learned, we could be heartbroken that some people aren't willing to move forward with us. So we offer ourselves that cup of love to keep believing in ourselves, believing in our dreams. We keep walking the talk. We keep staying in truth and love and justice and fairness and balance. And we will be able to give birth to something new in the world. And it could be saying there could be other people in the world that do want to work together with us, but there could be people who want to make sure that we're completely detached from other people in our past. And some of those new people we could work with that we might currently have in our life that we're also not working together with them in a relationship. But there could be other people that would like to work together with us, but because we've had our own inner conflict about detaching emotionally from the past, it's kind of stopped us from moving forward. And when we work through all our inner conflict of that and get back into being more confident within ourselves and believing it's time to move forward, we will invest in the truth and moving forward in truth. And that's when we could meet the people that we're really meant to work together with, But we've all got to free ourselves from the past. And maybe the idea is that, if we've already been in relationships with people in our past, maybe it's to see the truth that those relationships didn't work out for a reason. And we should trust the process and keep moving forward. And there too, when some people realize, oh, you're not going to kind of keep chasing after me, you're not going to make this about where it'll be a relationship of me being indulged and you move on, that could be when those people see, oh, you are a boss, you have seen the truth, and you're not about people playing games or manipulating you, that might be when they realize, if I don't want to miss out an opportunity with this person, I got to get my shit together and go make them an offer. And I need to be on the same page as them, because it's not going to be about me kind of being indulged. I need to deal with my own shit. And if they don't, then fine, I'll go find other people in the world who have done that work and effort to really be someone who acts with character and integrity, not someone who's thinking, oh, can I get in a relationship with someone who's kind of more codependent or whatever, and where it's really more about me. It's like, yeah, you can, and it'll be someone else. What's coming up for the people who harness maybe a little more worldly or shadowy Gemini energy? Those people are thinking about their dreams, the Aquarius star energy. They could have some fears and really be up in their head. Some of the people who are in shadowy energy right now would like to be in a relationship with some loving, nurturing people in their life, but they could have some fears of working together with people who are healed, because then in shadowy Aries, it can't be just about them and people indulging them, and where it's more about them or the ego or the image or the status. It'd have to be on truth and justice and fairness and love, where people, again, take action, bold and brave enough to take action in truth and love, get out of their mental conflict about moving forward in truth and love. And some people could have been moving forward with people who they thought their dreams were going to come into reality with. But the person they're moving forward with could have a lot of mental conflict about working together with people, because some loving people are in relationships with some other shadowy people. And so the shadowy people could have thought people were going to look to them as like, oh my gosh, you are everything I would want in the world. My dreams can come into reality with you. But the shadowy people have a lot of fear of working together. If they're in a relationship with a loving person right now, they have a lot of fear of working together with people like that, because those people kind of do maintain balance within themselves. They are wanting to move forward in truth and love. And some of the people who are in shadowy energy right now could be bothered that the loving people in their life are standing up for themselves, and that they do know their worth and value, and they want the people they're in a relationship with to move forward with them because they love them. The loving people love the shadowy people, but the shadowy people kind of thought they were going to be able to keep moving forward, that the person they were in a relationship with would keep moving forward with them, because they could have thought they were defensive to speaking their truth and being willing to move away from them. Because, if a shadowy person gets in a relationship with someone who's loving and nurturing and all that, the loving, nurturing person puts in a lot of work and effort to try to make a relationship work. And for some of the shadowy people, they were counting on that. I bet they'll keep putting in work and effort to make this relationship work. And then I can keep moving forward in a relationship with them, kind of me still operating from my emotionally defensive or self-centered or manipulative or defensive ways of being. And I bet they'll never leave. And I can kind of keep being happy being in a relationship with them because they're defensive of leaving. But for some of those people, the people in their life are standing up for themselves. And they're saying, I know my worth and value. And I am willing, I'm communicating to you. I want this to move forward in truth and love. Are you willing to do that or not? And if some of those people are like, oh my God, I don't want to do love. I get hurt doing love. I thought we'd be in a relationship more, because you were afraid. And I'm afraid, but I never thought you'd get out of being afraid. So I thought you'd keep staying in the relationship with me. For some of those people, the loving people are going to move on, because they're defensive of looking at life from a higher perspective. They're defensive of having hope and faith and belief that they can heal. And the truth might be that they do think that it should be more about them being indulged for some reason. They might look very successful in the world. They might be attractive, all those things that they just think, I can go find someone else to get in a relationship with that won't require me to deal with my inner issues. And for some of those people are going to leave those relationships. Some of you have already left those relationships. For the people right now who don't want to be in a relationship with people who are more independent, who want them to grow up and mature themselves, those people are pretty sure that there's people they can go get in a relationship with who might be up in their head, fearful about if they're going to find a relationship, like they're single, and they're going to go towards those people to try to get those people to move forward in a relationship with them. And then they just think, once I get them in the relationship, they'll be happy kind of being in the relationship, kind of getting their ego about the relationship. It'll look victorious and successful by worldly standards. And then I can go back to my normal way of being kind of more about myself and being defensive, to maybe even bringing the real dream into reality. Well, now I got you in the relationship by worldly standards. It all looks great. We're in the relationship. You're in a relationship. That's what you wanted, was to be in a relationship. We're in a relationship. We're getting along. It looks good by worldly standards. We're having intimacy in a relationship. Isn't this good enough? And they'll go try to find someone else to create this illusion that I'm willing, that I'm something I'm not, and then try to get the next person to keep staying in the relationship with them. It's good for their ego and their image and their status, and they're in a relationship. They don't have to go find someone else. This person is kind of willing to indulge in making it seem like it's all these things. It's just loving, intuitive people realize that this isn't really it. It has all the makings of being it, but it's not on a foundation of love. And it's not going to be based on a foundation of love. Let's stay in the relationship because of the fear or the insecurity or the pride or the ego or the status or the image. It has all those things of the world that we want. Are you just willing to give up your dreams of love for it? And some people that are in relationships right now are going to keep staying in it because they're willing to indulge those people for those things. I'm not willing to stand up for myself and deal with my own fears and insecurities of detaching from those people. I maybe don't want to take on more responsibility in my life. If I can be in a relationship with this person and I don't have to get married to them and we can just, seem to have it all, but we might be doing that because of our own fear and insecurity and past pain and heartbreak, then I'm going to stay in a relationship with them. And other people are like, I always had a dream, and it wasn't to indulge someone or be indulged. And I am going to face my fears and insecurities, and I am going to detach from staying in a relationship that's like this, because it's not aligned with the truth of who I am. And I'm going to heal, and I'm going to give birth to something new, and I'm going to love and believe in myself to be emotionally independent of people like this, because I want to work together with people who want to work together with people from love. And if I don't find someone in the world who wants to work together with other people from a place of love, then I'm going to at least be at peace within myself, me aligning with life-giving energy with the friends and family and work people and whoever in my life. But I'm not going to compromise my truth to indulge someone in a relationship. I will assume if no one else, the divine will work with me, and I will be one of the people trying to spread just love and light in the world. And I might not have a relationship partner, but I think, the divine knows we want to work with people who are like that. But in order to be with the people who are like that, we got to face our fears and insecurities of detaching from the people that we already know or had previously been in a relationship with, to be independent of those people. From the 9 of Cups down to the 3 of Cups is letting go. And shadowy Capricorn energies represented by the Devil, of being too attached to wanting to reunite with people we already know because we already know them. We got to detach from that to be free, which is high vibe Capricorn energy, to free ourselves from the past, to be open to love. And that's when new love can come into our life. And again, there could be people in the world who are looking for other people to be in relationship with. But if we keep having our inner conflict about detaching from people from our past that are being defensive to even being in a relationship with us, for some, we got to let go of that old dream and keep moving forward, putting ourselves out there to meet the people in the world that we could be in relationship with. So there you go, Gemini energy. I wish you peace, love, and joy, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.